We are the result of evolution through billions and billions of years. The universe has 5 bodies, but 4 of them are the most important. First of them is water. The other one is earth, fire, and air. These 4 elements were the first beings created in the universe. The 5th body is the one that connects everything, and we call it the ethereal body. The first species that were created and had a shape to be alive and to hold consciousness by itself were fire and gas. First living species were created at the same time that suns were created, at the same time that galaxies were created, creating the first living beings like pleiadians and other beings that are so enlightened itself in other dimensions. The water beings more related to us, like pleiadians, lyrians, and other beings in the galaxy. There was other planets and a lot of comets and asteroids going all around, all the components to create the water here on this planet. The way they try to create new realities is through the destruction of the ancient one. So all the chaos of the universe was the key to bring the seed of life in this planet. When the patterns of the 6th dimension were created, they had to be put into space, which is the 3rd dimension. But the only way you can attach to the 3rd dimension is through time, which is the 4th dimension. So all the beings alive for the first time with the consciousness of the self had to go through the 4th dimension. They were building the first living beings, the first species, into the 4th dimension, so they could find the process, they could live the process. In the 4th dimension, they had these 4 stages in the universe, which was expression, experimentation, integration, and transcendence. The main problem that they had creating these species in the 4th dimension was that to just live one process, they could probably need like thousands and billions of years. So that's why it's so difficult for me and for everyone to explain when it specifically happened that civilizations and species that were first created into the 4th dimension went to the 3rd one. So these main civilizations, they had this problem in which they were eternal. So they lived forever in the same shape. So that had the problem that we lived thousands and billions of years with the same personality and the same knowledge of who we are. So if we are trying to figure out many ways of understanding the knowledge of the universe, we needed to stop that. And we needed more life and more evolution. So that's why the species in the 4th dimension were forced to die. Death was the main creation to end with this eternal system of process of life. So the transcendence of a process of learning became death, and the integration became to be old. And the process of experimentation became to be the reproduction, and the expression was to be born. So that's why all the beings in the 4th dimension were, for the first time, creating beings in the 3rd dimension through dying. And that's why dying is so important for us in the 3rd dimension, because it allows the beings in all the dimensions to express the different ways of life and the different ways in which we can learn from ourselves. The only way you can evolve is by adapting to the environment. And the beings from the earth species and the water species, they found out that if they changed their shapes, they could be more eternal than if they are always the same. So they figure out that if they change their shapes, being the same within, they could upload more information and download more information from the whole universe. So that's why the process of death, the process of dying, of ending something, it was so important, because it helps to finish a perspective and begin another one. For all the beings that we evolved from the species of water, we are the living proof that we always are, were, and will be water, but we are only changing the shapes. Water has the whole information to create life, to express the realities in different ways. But those ways need to be experienced. So Earth, minerals, has to shape it. So along the whole history and evolution of the galaxy, minerals were conditioning water to shape it in different ways, so it could be holding some information or recording some information from every part of the universe and every part of the planet. So that's why the beings living in other planets and other dimensions needed minerals to condition the structure of the water of every being, so their own information could transcend through time and space in life. That's why the universe created this spiral of DNA in which all the information was held into the cell, which is like a planet, and all this information was being alive through the minerals and the water that was brought through the blood.